Makofi, makofi, ladies and gentlemen. And we remain standing for the anthems, please. Do remain.
Sisters, the business community from Uganda and Tanzania, dear ministers, may I take this opportunity to thank the government of the Republic of Uganda for the hospitality accorded to me and my delegation since our arrival here in Uganda, and for the excellent facilities put at our disposal. Also, allow me to commend you for the excellent preparation of this meeting. And allow me at the outset to state that Tanzania and Uganda enjoy bilateral relation founded on the geographical closeness and the connectivity of our people as neighbors and friends. It is good to note that Tanzania see Ugandans as their brothers and sisters. Similarly, Ugandans feel equally to Tanzanians. With me here, I'm accompanied by ministers. Could you please raise the ministers from Tanzania? Yeah. I have a Minister for Investment and Trade, Minister for Communication and Transport, Minister for Health, Minister for Information and Culture from Zanzibar, Minister for Foreign Affairs. But with them are the heads of agencies, ZIPA, TIC, Bandari, Railway. Then I'm having the chairman of the Bankers Association of Tanzania. There he is. And ambassador of Tanzania too, yeah. Then I'm having the business community from Tanzania and the supporting staff. I'm not a historian like my brother Karuhanga, so I won't be going through the history, but I'll take you a little bit with the highlights on Tanzanian economic performance. And let me say that Tanzania's annual GDP has been growing at an average rate of 6.5 from 2016 to 2020. And this has been making Tanzania one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. As a result, the country was ranked a middle-income country in June 2020. The growth was based on implementation of market-driven policies based on macroeconomic fundamentals, sound monetary and fiscal policies that bolster private sector productive activities. Implementation of sound macroeconomic management and monetary policies has resulted into lowered inflation rate, averaged 4.2 for the period of 2016-2020. This performance should not hold you not to invest in Tanzania. I'll take you through the reasons why you should invest in Tanzania. First, Tanzania is a peaceful and political stable country. We consider this as one of the key components to attract investment. And those who are already working in Tanzania, they can testify on this. We are a multi-party democracy. We uphold tenets of good governance, respect of human rights and rule of law. I know Badru said there are some cases, but we can talk it as a family matters. I agree with you, we have corrected all those, so don't hesitate coming. But we also fight against corruption and other vices in society. And we have shown serious commitment on the fight against these challenges. Our country is also endowed with a variety of natural resources, including 1,424 kilometers of coastline, large arable land, world-class tourist attractions, minerals, oil and gas, arable land, conducive weather, and ground and surface water that provide opportunities in agro-processing, livestock leather production, and agro-production. We have valuable land which is rich in industrial minerals and gemstones, such as nickel, silver, iron ore, soda ash, coal, clay soil, uranium, gold, diamond, and tanzanite. Unfortunately, tanzanite can only be found in Tanzania, nowhere else. For you come for tanzanite. Most of these resources have been exported in their raw form without being processed, thus denying the country some jobs. We are therefore inviting you to come and work with us in projects that involve value addition and beneficiation of mining products as deemed appropriate. These include processing of precious metals and gemstones, production of iron ore and steel, processing of nickel, and extraction of uranium. On the other side of the United Republic, Zanzibar, the islands have a lot of potential in tourism and blue economy. And I haven't mentioned, with all this, we have wonderful people, all the time smiling. So, welcome to Tanzania. On facilitation of investments in all the areas, Tanzania has in place a favorable institutional, legal, and regulatory regime. The government established the Tanzania Investment Center and the Zanzibar Investment Authority with the core functions of coordinating, encouraging, promoting, and facilitating investments in Tanzania, and had the role to advise the government on investment policy and related matters. Investors are facilitated to access investment permits and licenses and a one-stop facilitation center. The government, through the Export Processing Zone Authority, has also set up export processing zones and special economic zones to propel industrial growth through promoting export trade. So there are opportunities in those export processing and export special economic zones. The largest export contributors continue to primary commodities, particularly gold, coffee, tea, cashew nuts, and cotton. At the same time, the volume of manufacturing exports has surged in recent years, with the lion's share of these exports going to markets within the region. Meanwhile, tourism is Tanzania's main foreign exchange earner. You all know that our country is in a strategic location, and the videos on the port has explained that. We are gifted to be created in that position because we are a gate to Africa, and from Africa to other routes, and in both through Dar es Salaam and from Zanzibar to other areas of the world. Furthermore, Tanzania, as you know, is a member of different economic communities, the East African SADC, and we recently ratified the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. So we have all those opportunities and a bigger market you can access from Tanzania. Likewise, we have done a lot of infrastructure development, knowing that investment, industrialization means infrastructure. So we have invested heavily on railway, ports, vessels, water transport, the roads, and air. And we also know that industrialization means power, and I've heard Mzee Roofing complaining on gas, and this project is underway. Our governments are under discussion on the gas pipeline to Uganda. We are discussing on the route. Uganda would like the same corridor with the Eco pipeline should be used with the gas, but we say we need the pipeline to go through more productive towns of ours. So we would like the pipeline to go through Morogoro, some areas, and up to Uganda. But we are under discussion, the project is there, we are going to implement it. So we know power is important. So we have gas, we have the Yoweri hydropower, which is under construction. It's due to complete in 2024, and it's going to produce 2,115 megawatts. We have the Ruhuji and Rumakali hydropower, going to produce around 800 megawatts altogether. And we have solar and wind. So we are going to generate a lot of powers. We know industrialization means water. We are working on that. Our coverage in Tanzania now is almost 76%, and by 2025 we are expecting to reach 90 to 95%. So water again is telecommunication. So all of these are available at varying degrees, but we are working hard making them available. The business climate that I have just described has already attracted a growing number of foreign and local investors from different countries to Tanzania. We look forward to increased investment because, as I mentioned, Tanzania has got a lot to offer. The returns are good. Protection is guaranteed. As I said before, we're working on the reforms, legal and fiscal reforms. So protection, I know Badu will say, protection is not guaranteed. But we are changing, we are reforming our acts and laws. So protection is guaranteed and incentives are competitive. I know, who was that, Herbert? Who was that? Yeah, complained on incentives through the East African community. We are going to work on that. So we have had Charles, Badru, Herbert, Mzee Roofing, and others pointed out some of the setbacks and weaknesses that hinder businesses, smooth implementation of businesses in Tanzania. The routes, the gas pipelines, all these, together with all those things mentioned by Ben on medical vitals, generally, and diaries as well, Barbara and Kotecha. Generally, I should say we have heard you. We have heard your concerns. We have heard your complaints. And take it from me, we're going to work on them. We have started working on them, and we are going to continue working on them. At this point, let me give a round of applause to Eric, Masanja, and Philemon for elaborating on actions undertaken in correcting the weaknesses and the efforts taken, and explaining the efforts taken to ease the trade movements and transactioning of trading. And at this point, let me add my voice in recent investment reforms which have been taken in my country. We are committed to deepening and enabling environment and investment climate through undertaking regulatory and legal and institutional reforms to ease the cost of doing business and increase efficiency and productivity of the private sector. The implementation of the reforms has resulted into the introduction of online service delivery system, such as online investment registration system. Somebody, I think Kotecha, asked to have an office in Kampala so as to facilitate the registration and all this. But we do have online services on that. So you can access online and make registration. But we do have online business registration system with BRELA, Workplace Information Management System by OSHA, work permits through labor departments, residence permits through immigration, electronic passport immigration, elimination of duplication mandate on the regulatory authority. Because before, investors were complaining that the OSHA fire department and other departments, they're all going and want to check in one project or one company. So now we have collected all of them, one service to one company. No more knocking the doors all the time. We are also having the introduction of electronic payment system and levies by the government. The establishment of Tanzania electronic single window system also helps reduce time for investors to work with the government. Having undertaken these reforms, the country continues to lead at the top because I said our reforms have attracted many investors from outside. And so Tanzania continued to lead at the top on FDI destination in the East African Community region. And according to the World Investment Report released in June 2021, despite the world hit by the COVID-19 situation, in 2020, Tanzania received FDI with $1 billion, as said my brother Karuhanga here. The positive results in FDI are due to the government's resolve to improve investment climate and gas discoveries in country, together with a new oil pipeline agreement between our two countries, Tanzania and Uganda. These have been spectacular, and so the world sees Tanzania as an important point on investing. We also witnessed a surge in investment registration, whereby investment registered by Tanzania Investment Center and ZIPA during the period of March 2021 to April 2022 have increased by 34% and 200% in terms of project number and capital, respectively. Talking on Uganda, investment in Tanzania. From 1997 to April 2022, Tanzania Investment Center has registered a total of 29 investment projects from Uganda, which are expected to invest a total of $119.27 million and generate 2,256 jobs. That's alhamdulillah, sihaba. But we need more, and that's why we are here. We are explaining all this because we want you at home, your second home. These projects are in various sectors such as agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, transport, telecommunication, finance, human resources, construction, and services. More Ugandan investors are encouraged to come and invest in various sectors, while the private sector in Tanzania is motivated to efficiently utilize the Ugandan market in terms of investment and trade through the benefits provided under the EAC community arrangement. Talking on investment incentives, I've seen people exchanging cards, and I've got the heads of agencies, investment agencies here. I think they've been in a position to explain more on the incentives offered. But I know we have two types of, two groups which are given incentives: the normal investors and those we call the strategic investors, which do have different types of incentives, but they'll explain more on that. As I alluded earlier, that Tanzania has a great potential, and we strongly believe on the blue economy as a main driving force in poverty reduction and boosting economic development. The country offers enormous investment opportunities in this sector for any prospective investors who seek to invest in various blue economy subsectors, including fisheries and aquaculture, ecotourism, oil and gas, marine, trade and infrastructure, and processing industry for marine products, even water sports. We haven't had many investors in water sports. Only one local investor, Bahresa, has invested in water sports, so we need more. Tanzania, Zanzibar, for example, is surrounded by Indian Ocean. Tanzania has a long coastline, so we need water sports. Tanzania investment authorities, as I said, will showcase detailed information on investment opportunities, and I'm glad I had my sister there showing the document given by the investment authorities of Tanzania. So I'm sure they'll do much more to pour you with more information on investment in Tanzania. Make sure you have their contacts. Turning my face to Uganda again, I must congratulate Uganda for a big leap that has made for investment in industrial parks development. Tanzania has just begun to attract investments in these areas, and so for fast-tracking the process of establishing manufacturing projects, we'll appreciate if we can share more experience from your side. We need to learn from you on how you did it. We are just starting. We want to move in a good pace, so we are eagerly waiting to learn from you. Given that you are the captains of investment and trading, you definitely have more ideas of your own on how to promote trade. I can't go on telling you on how to promote trade. And so I look forward to continue having more dialogue with you, probably in Dar es Salaam or Dodoma, for us to have more dialogue with you and to have fruitful and productive exchanges. Finally, it is an honor and privilege to me having an opportunity to hear from the Ugandan business community. I've heard you. I'm going to work on what you have told us as weaknesses and setbacks. We are going to resolve them. We need to smoothen the trading and investment climate. So, karibu Tanzania, come one, come all. Thank you very much for kind attention. I forgot to say, my brother Karuhanga is wonderful. You know, when he was trying to stand up, and then I said, oh, my dear brother, what happened? But when he was at the podium, oh, you are wonderful, my brother. Thank you.
Can we give Her Excellency, the President, a much bigger hand clap? Much bigger hand clap.
And then I will humbly request, we'll probably add a chair for the Right Honorable Nakadama our third Deputy Prime Minister,